Getting faster can be rather tricky, and while we've already spoken about getting started in Assetto Corsa, it's about time we discuss more advanced tips. So in this video, we will go through throttle techniques, braking techniques, steering, and more tips and tricks with the aim of refining your driving ability. So let's kick things off by slowing them down. The basic way to brake is in a straight line. Go to 100% pressure and lift off fully before taking the corner. This is perfectly straightforward, and if all corners were set up like this, we'd be fine. But because they aren't, you have to employ different techniques to optimise your braking across various tracks. Firstly is trail braking. This is the act of gradually coming off the brake pedal into the corner. Drivers who use trail braking experience a much more settled car on corner approach. This is because the weight transfer from back to front is gentle, meaning the car is more balanced and has less chance of snapping out of control. Trail braking will also help keep the weight over the front axle, which results in additional grip from the front tyres. Looking at the telemetry on the Track Titan platform, we can see that by trail braking, the driver in blue can get on the throttle sooner compared to the driver in orange, who does not trail brake. This is due to the orange driver waiting for the car to stabilise before accelerating, whereas the blue driver has already stabilised the car with trail braking and is ready to throttle away. So make sure you practice the trail braking technique, as it can be applied to almost any car you drive to optimise braking. Next is progressive braking, which is the act of gradually applying brake pressure to ensure the wheels don't lock up. This is a technique that's more useful when the approach to the corner isn't straight, or you're driving a car with less mechanical grip. It allows you to bleed the speed off while also not overloading the tyres. As you're developing your skills, progressive braking is a useful technique to use, as it allows you to learn braking limits and grip limits. Next, let's discuss the throttle. There is a highly common mistake that we see drivers making, and that is being impatient in getting on the accelerator. Of course, the throttle has the opposite effect of trail braking, as the weight transfer is from front to back. If you accelerate too soon in the corner, the weight will go towards the back and will no longer be pushing the front tyres into the ground. This will mean that you have less grip on the front tyres, and it will mean the speed you can take the corner is lower than if the weight was over the front. So in a lot of cases, those who accelerate too soon will have a higher minimum speed, but will stay at a minimum speed for longer, which is where they lose the time. Whereas those drivers who are patient will drop to a lower speed briefly before being able to accelerate at a higher rate out of the corner. This is a very specific technique that can only be refined through time and practice. You'll notice the differences between these two approaches, particularly in long corners, so be sure to test out different acceleration points on a circuit until you find the best one. Alternatively, you could just look at Track Titan to see where the optimal point of acceleration is. Track Titan can not only show your session insights right down to your throttle and brake traces, but can also provide personalised tips based on your individual performance. Additionally, as you start to get more accustomed to the platform, you can toggle on Advanced mode, which allows you to view the data the way professional drivers would do in real life. By signing up on Track Titan with the code ACADVANCED, you can get 30 days of unlimited data insights for free to help you get quicker, faster. Now, you've got your pedal inputs working better, let's take a look at the steering. Firstly is understeer. This is where the front tyres lose grip and use far more of the circuit grounds than you bargained for. Understeer is caused by the car going too fast for the front tyres to cope with a direction change. So if you're not going too fast, what could be the problem? It could be down to anything from the tyres being worn, wrong line through a corner, incorrect braking technique, or even the wrong setup if you want to go a little bit more in depth. So when you experience understeer, ensure you are trail braking, avoid the throttle and try a different line. Now let's flip to oversteer. This is the opposite of understeer, as the front does turn a little too much, and consequently you rotate out of control. This will normally occur on corner exit as you're accelerating when the weight transfers to the rear, overloads the tyres, and the car can no longer stay in a straight line. Regardless if you slide and catch it or spin completely, both will lose you time. So understanding the grip limit is essential. When you accelerate out of a corner, you want to get to 100% throttle as soon as possible, but not at the expense of grip. This is why you'll see drivers modulating the throttle out of the corner to ensure the car stays pointing forwards. So if you are experiencing oversteer, be patient on the throttle and wait until you know you can accelerate without the car losing traction. If you're unsure on any of this, don't forget you can analyse your telemetry against professional drivers to see how they are going quicker. And you can sign up with the code ACADVANCE to get 30 days of unlimited telemetry insights on Track Titan. But that about rounds up this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned something today and can take it forwards in your own sim racing. But in the meantime, we look forward to seeing you in the Track Titan leaderboard soon.